Can a child barely old enough for school really be a bully? I mean, what would you do if someone complained that your 2-, 3- or 4-year-old was picking on their little pals? Even I know that little children can be beastly to each other, nicking toys, bashing each other over the head and so on. But are these acts signs of bullying or potentially signs of something else? A natural response to feeling aggrieved and not having the maturity to deal with it? Could it be that some tots are perhaps born more aggressive than others? Is it possible, and this is the one I'm most interested in, is it possible they're demonstrating alpha behaviour, the kind of, what are we saying, I suppose, energetic antics of someone who wants to be top dog? And while the alpha baby wants to be on top, the bully baby wants to keep others down. And I think there is a difference there, isn't there, between those two things? Child development experts agree there's a threshold age before which you can't call a child a bully. It's about 3. Before 3, they don't really understand. After that, they do start to get a grip on other people's feelings. They know that stealing their friend's Buzz Lightyear doll will upset their playmate. So then to do it will show intent, we're back to that issue again, to willfully intend to hurt someone. But when can we or should we start using the B word to describe such antics? Bullying, as I said, persistent, aggressive behaviour to others. Alpha babies might throw their weight around just to stay on top. Is there a difference there, Steve? I mean, this is this junior magazine, which obviously I read every month, and it was an agony letter, and it was just based on that problem. Is my child a bully, or perhaps showing signs of something else?
The weird thing is, having kids, and what they tell me when, or their mum is like, that this kid's kind of attacking that kid, and it's, it happens every day, and so there's certain signs that manifest themselves very, very early on, and I think kids are very cruel, and if they do spot weakness, then they will often go for them. And obviously it's up to the parents to deal with this. What I do is teach a child how to bully, exactly the right way to bully. Build them up, get other weaker children into the house and attack them. I don't do that. Their mum does it. No, but
is there a difference? Is there in your view?
No, I think no, because bullying is there's an awareness that older children have, and that they suddenly kind of know that they can, with menace, either get what they want or feel better about themselves. I think the kind of toddler behaviour where one takes something from another because they want it is often just that. I think that's just toddler behaviour, where it isn't. It's kind of, it just comes from, I want that, so you'll take
well, what
it.
If that, just because you said some children pick on the same child all the time. Now that, you see, would suggest bullying. It's a persistent campaign against somebody else. But if the child is pushing all the other kids around, is that bullying, or is that perhaps...
No, I think that's just boisterous toddler behaviour,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. Go on,
but I think everything like that is nature. It has to be the parents. Even a spoilt child will go, I want that. So that you have to know that they can't have that. They have to...
Yeah.
What?
Are some children born to be alpha males, alpha women, or is that all learned behaviour?
I really don't. I mean, I suppose that some children are born stronger than others. I don't suppose obviously we know that. But I just think that if a child shows this, this trait initially, it's the parent's duty to then say, don't do that, that's it, and be punished for it in whatever way, I guess. And I really don't think that it should be...
So it's all bad? Any kind of taking a toy from a child?
It
doesn't matter whether it's focused on one child or on a number of...
It's either for attention, it's negative, basically. It's either for attention or being spoilt, or... I think so.
Adolf Hitler was bullied, wasn't he, as a child?
Well, he was quite a bully, I think, in the end, wasn't he?
Yes. Really?
Well,
yeah, a little bit of a bully. I think everyone's a bully and everyone bullies, but you remember being bullied, but you don't, and then you try and forget the times when you were horrible to other people. It's all part of the pecking order of growing up. It goes through life. Don't look at 3-year-olds bullying. Look at the X Factor is national TV, which is all about bullying. The whole population bullying mentally ill people. So essentially,
but if you roll back the years to a 3-year-old, now, at the age of 3, they're just starting to get empathy, they're just starting to get a moral compass. So is it possible there's 2 types of behaviour? There's the behaviour of a child that may have some kind of hurt implanted in them? I always assume it's come from mum and dad, some kind of hurt, and they pass that down the line by bullying another child.
Yeah,
is it possible that another child is feeling very buoyed up and alpha and just wants and wants and...
I mean, there's different characteristics, but I think you have to teach kids to have empathy, and you have to teach kids how to deal with bullies and not be, you know, not be a punch bag to bullies. So that's part of life, because you're going to be bullied all the way through your life, you know, in some degree. I just, you know, it doesn't, you know, empathy is a great thing, and I don't think talking about a 3-year-old having empathy, there's plenty of 18-year-olds and 28-year-olds and 4-year-olds who don't understand empathy. So, you know, I think you're trying to get that into kids, but it's going to take a long time before you actually get to the point where you are selfless and you are looking at the bigger picture.
Is it an unhelpful label to brand a child of 3 a bully?
Yeah, because kids are horrible. They're little dicks, aren't they? So you know, they go around kicking each other and stealing things off each other. So it's completely you know, to start imposing adult ideas...
It should be said that they don't do that all the time.
No.
Hopefully. I think labels are for the parents, really. And I think, unfortunately, if you kind of do label a child at that age a bully, then that's not doing the parents any
No,
favours.
but if you don't get it sorted before they go to primary school, it's going to be a label that's going to follow them for the rest of their lives.
Do you know, I have to say as well, it is such a... I think you said before, it's a really strong word, because someone accused me of it not so long ago, and it was totally out, you know, out of...
Did you push them around and shove them back in the box?
Well, I did, but, you know, I was like, no.
How old were they? 6, 7? How old?
Give them a good smack.
Push a 7-year-old.
That'll learn them.
No, but it was so hateful that this person had said this to a few people about me, and it was so hateful.
That's a really brave way to deal with bullying, isn't it? Tell lots of other people about it. What do we think then? 3-year-olds, can they be bullies? Is it possible that they may be demonstrating some other, more positive trait? Let's see what you've got to say. Kirsty.
First, we have Adela on line 1.
Adela, good morning.
Good morning.
So, what do we think? 3-year-old bullies?
Bullying is a very strong word.
Right, I agree.
And yes, bullying does go on in 3 to 4-year-olds. I have been a preschool teacher for 19 years, and I have seen bullying going on.
Right.
Boys would head out, it's over and done with. Girls would be the type that could hold a grudge for days, and it's more like a mental bullying.
Right.
Where boys is more physical.
This is at preschool age. We're not talking adult behaviour, which is also very familiar, the pattern you're talking about there. Mental cruelty by women. I know where you're coming from. Is it possible, Adela, that there is aggressive behaviour could be something more positive in some children? That maybe they're being mislabelled?
Well, what I feel is that children behave for a reason. They bully because maybe they don't understand the situation. Maybe maybe it's happening to them at home with other siblings. And they think it's part of life that they can do this. Now, we are part of an early years organisation for young children in Northern Ireland, and they have brought in the Media Initiative programme, which covers bullying, covers culture, and we have different programmes to show children...
I'm sure, Adela, I just want to know whether that some of the children that demonstrate, for want of a better word, aggressive tendencies, whether they are not bullies, but perhaps the leaders of the future, those that want to dominate rather than...
God, that's scary.
It's trying to dominate...
I think it's a lot of children bully sometimes because they're insecure.
But are there some children that demonstrate aggressive behaviour that aren't doing it because they're insecure, they're doing it because they want to be on top. They want to lead. They've got something in them, a drive.
But why would they want to be on top? Maybe they want to be on top because they're not, you know, on top at home. They don't get enough attention at home.
And I totally agree with that.
But also, everyone wants to be on top, though. I mean, that's what everybody
No, some people don't. Some people
Everyone's
don't.
a struggle for resources, whatever way you go for it. You know, you want to have the best-looking partner or the nicest house or stuff. So you're all struggling to get on top in some way, and you can do that by being a nice person and building up.
Some people
are happy to settle for standing in the background and.
Only after they've been beaten into submission first.
Well,
maybe. Okay. Actually, Adela, I'm going to lose you because we've got so many calls and very little time. Thank you for that one.
OK, we'll go to Ian next on line 3.
Ian, good morning.
Good morning, Matthew.
Are children of 3, I mean, can you have a bully by nature, age 3?
No, I don't think so at all. I think children are what you make them. When they are born, whatever you do to that baby, as soon as it is born, I've had 4 myself, and I've brought them all up exactly the same. I've got 3 girls and 1 lad. And I think it's what you teach your kids in life is how they will behave. If they're round someone's house and they're playing with other children and they start stealing toys, then you tell them no at the time. You don't let them bully other children.
Ian, are you saying that all children are born equal?
I think so, and I think it's the education that you bring your children when you bring them up as an adult. You never let a child tell you what to do. You are the adult.
So all children are born equal, equally capable of running 100 metres faster than Usain Bolt, equally capable of running the country. They're all...
Well, not everybody's athletic or fast as another.
OK, but how come then you all allow athleticism to be genetically predisposed, but aggression not to be?
It's like you just said about being a leader. I've been in the army for 22 years. I've seen young lads from 16 come up through the ranks and become leaders past me, and I'm 44 now. I didn't join the army till I was 22. They joined at 16. They were taught how to be a leader by the army system and discipline, and I think that's the same as bringing your children up.
Okay.
You
Well, then
discipline
everyone
them
would be a leader.
to do as they're told.
Are all 4 of your children exactly the same and because it's a perfect thing? Have they got exactly the same temper and exactly the same emotional, ability? They weren't. You brought all your 4 kids up the same, but I bet they've all got different personalities, and that's because they're born with personalities.
When it comes to discipline, they all do as they are told, and they did do as they were told. They still respect me as their parent.
They may learn discipline, but maybe there is the urge inside them to be naughty.
I mean, how many times have you heard, that someone commits an awful crime and the parents of that person who's committed the crime say, but we brought him up to be such a loving boy. He's never showed any of these kind of traits before. You don't...
Yes, but that's when they get older. We're talking about a 3-year-old here. A 3-year-old should only do as it's taught by its parents, surely. To beat other children, if it starts hitting a child or stealing their toys, they should be told no.
You don't think
you
don't think it's a combination of a genetic predisposition combined with learned behaviour and stuff that comes from their parents?
Combined.
Yeah,
it has to be, but it has to be a learned behaviour, I think, as well.
If it works, the minute you tell them to stop hitting the other children, they never hit another child again, if that works. But I bet they go and hit other children again, and you have to tell them again.
Good point.
And then they learn through experience.
Time is running out. Ian, bless you for yours. We're getting closer to something here.
Yeah, we have Sarah next on line 5.
Sarah, good morning.
Hello.
So a 3-year-old bully, does such a thing exist?
No, and I think boys are being picked on a little bit at the moment. I have a 4-year-old, he's just turned 4, and he will, especially with little girls, he'll take their toys away because it makes them cry, and he's not doing that to be malicious. He thinks that it's funny, and I think that's just typical of a little boy, and to brand him a bully, I think is a bit unfair.
Yeah. So why does he enjoy seeing little girls cry?
Exactly.
I wouldn't say that he enjoys it.
You said he likes seeing little girls cry. So, I mean, enjoy. I mean, we can run about the semantics forever, but I mean, in essence, he thinks it's funny. Why is that?
He does, and he's not doing it because he is being nasty. I think it's almost like a control thing. It's like, I'm going to take her toy away because I know it's going to make her cry, and then he laughs.
So we could argue, God, this is dark, we could argue that he's learning or demonstrating the signs of an alpha-type personality, that he's not... that it's about his exercising control. He's learning to manipulate.
So that it will end up in something good? Or that it's...
Well, I don't know. This is right. Because, I'm trying to say that alpha male or alpha behaviour is somehow different and better than bullying. And in my head, there's something about a bully which is about picking on someone's weakness,
right?
Whereas the alpha child is looking to further their sense of greatness.
Do you think it's a journey that you need to go through to bolster confidence and self-belief?
But if you look at the... When you say about alpha child and everything, that is like from sort of an animalistic point of view, isn't it? So if it is like that with animals and
the strongest,
and you do have to attack to be the strongest. You do have to be on top. So alpha is kind of a bully
It's
sort
the
of
same
thing.
Well, that's rounded that one up. Cheers.
Sorry,
mate.
thank you.
I'll leave it there then. Everybody,
Tune in next
everybody
week.
back in their cupboard.